All right, Kyle, we've had a lot to discuss this episode, and y'all, we're trying to keep it short.
Pretty lively.
Yeah, we know y'all have short attention spans, you know.
Don't insult our listeners.
I
mean,
they
most
insult
people
us.
do. Okay.
They insult us. But no, we love y'all. Last call, Kyle.
Okay, all right, my last call.
It's our last call segment, y'all. Kyle, what's your last call?
Okay, pretty simple, what we talked about in the very beginning, and it just the same subject we talked about before, but people who are extreme in their ideology is almost never good, because some things can be black and white, but there's a lot of nuance to things. And we talked about truth, what truth means, and little t, big T, you know. And I don't like it when I see people so tribal, like the fight I got in with, you know, at the bar, the verbal fight.
Yeah.
And people don't listen to each other. And we have several friends who do that. They talk at each other and they don't really listen. Most people just listen. They're just waiting for you to finish so they can talk without really listening.
Yeah.
And I think that's really not good, because when I listen to someone, I listen actively, attentively.
You do.
And I wait and absorb it, and I wait to respond a little bit. I mean, we got kind of heated today back and forth, but we knew what we were going to say and talk about, which is a little bit different than having just a regular conversation with a person. And you see that a lot on both sides, and I think it sucks, but it's a reality. And I think the further we can get away from that, the better, but I don't think we're going to do that anytime soon in society. That is my last call. Johnny, what's your last call?
No. Fair point. And I think my last call, when we first started this segment of last call, my first one was about handicap signs and people abusing the use of those, right? And Kyle's was like really serious, just like his was now, and mine's going to be very not serious right now. So my last call, y'all, is, and I'm looking at you, my Latino male brethren specifically, but also my Hill Country brethren, you know, regardless of race. You know, we were talking about guns at the bar Monday, and we were talking about guns and like, why do you need an AR-15, right? Look, I have 2 rifles, hunting rifles. I have a shotgun and I have a pistol, right? Okay, shotgun for self-defense or duck hunting or pigeon hunting, whatever.
Bird hunting, quail.
Hunting, yeah, quail. Hunting rifles for deer. Pistol just, you know, to always, you know, I'm all about guns, right? But why do you fucking need an AR-15? They're semi-automatic. They're not automatic. If they are, that's illegal and you're going to jail. But you know,
because it's America.
Yeah. So that brings me to my next point, Kyle, is guys in the city who drive these fucking jacked up Chevy Silverado trucks, who are just like, okay, really? All right, are you let's show me how small your manhood is by showing me how big your truck is.
And it's usually very clean.
Yeah.
They haven't done any work on it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
I'm disagreeing.
I interrupted you last week in your last call. It's
Yeah.
cool. No, but like to the point, like, okay, I have respect for you if you have a truck and you're using it for like construction or in oil refineries or moving stuff. Like, okay, good, but like, why? Just like an AR-15, why? Why do you need that? Like, why do you? And I am encouraging you to respond to me. Like, why do you need that?
Bad analogy, but
No.
I totally agree. I'm not going to talk a bunch about it. I totally agree with you on the pickup trucks.
Yeah, no, it's like it's not efficient. Like,
No, not at all.
No, and you're just like, what? You want to look cool? You want to look, you know? And there's a thing called taquaches, and that's a Mexican thing. I mean, and it's like there's usually the lowrider trucks, but like, I guess my point is like having an AR-15 completely unnecessary. Also, any good hunter will tell you don't hunt deer with an AR-15 unless you're killing boar or or other hogs,
wild hogs.
Yeah, but you don't. Like, it's not an efficient weapon to kill deer, right? Just like a truck is not an efficient thing to use if you got like a fucking office job and you just want to look cool. I just think it's stupid, and I
agree with you. And it's sort of like the guy who goes to a dive bar or any kind of bar, or even like a country bar, and they're all like done up in boots, hat, big buckle, and they have never been on a horse. They don't
worked on a ranch.
They want to look the lifestyle. I actually used to own horses, and my ex-wife back in the day, she liked to barrel race stuff. And I loved it. It was great, and we lived on a little bit of land. But even back then, I was in the military back then, but I wasn't like walking around, look at me, I'm a cowboy.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're, you know, it can get ridiculous.
It does.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's, you know, it's good. Okay, so that's my last call, y'all. And I'm
Sorry,
gonna
I know.